61 AC, the Lord of Storm's End and King Jaehaerys Targaryen's stepfather and former hand, Lord Rogar Baratheon, would arrive in King's Landing unannounced. With Rogar came his 2 nieces and his own daughter by the king's late mother, Queen Alyssa Velaryon, the Lady Jocelyn, the king's half-sister, the small frail babe who had come into the world during the terrible year of the stranger, had grown into a beautiful, tall young girl with large dark eyes and hair as black as sin. Rogar Baratheon's own black hair had gone grey, however, and the years had started to take their toll on the old king's hand. His face was pale and lined, and he had grown so gaunt his clothes hung loosely upon him as if they had been cut for a much larger, stronger man. When he took a shaky knee before the Iron Throne, he had trouble rising back to his feet and required the help of the Kingsguard to stand. Lord Rogar had made the long trip from Storm's End to ask his stepson, the king, a favour. Lady Jocelyn would soon be celebrating her 7th birthday. She had never known a mother, the old man said. My brother's wives looked after her as much as they were able, but of course they favoured their own children as mothers will, and now both of them are gone. If it please you, sire, I would ask you to accept Jocelyn and her cousins as wards, to be raised here at court beside your own sons and daughters. It would be an honour and our pleasure, Queen Alysanne replied. Jocelyn is our own sister. We have not forgotten that. Our blood. Lord Rogar seemed much relieved by this, and the tension in the room began to lift. I would ask you to look after my son as well. Bormund will remain at Storm's End, as is his place, in the charge of my brother Garren. He's a good boy, a strong boy, and will grow into a great lord in time, but he's only 9 years of age. However, Rogar Baratheon had come to the capital for much more pressing matters than finding places at court for his daughter. Years prior, his younger brother Borys left the Stormlands for Essos. He had now reappeared in Westeros, in the Red Mountains of Dorne. The rumour was he had joined up with the outlaw known as the Vulture King, and was now leading raids against his own people in the Stormlands. My younger brother Garren is an able man and leal, but he was never a match for Borys, and Bormund is but a boy. I fear for what may befall them and the Stormlands when I am gone, the aged lord would tell the king. That too took the king aback. When you are gone, why should you be gone? Where would you mean to go, my lord? Lord Rogar's answering smile showed a glimpse of his once formidable ferocity. Into the mountains, your grace. Maesters say that I am dying, and I do believe them, but I would not die in a bed. I mean to find my brother and deal with him, and with his Vulture King as well. When I die, it will be with an axe in my hand, screaming a curse. All I ask is for your leave, your grace. Moved by his old friend's words, King Jaehaerys rose and descended from the Iron Throne and clapped Lord Rogar by the shoulders. Your brother is nothing but a traitor, and this vulture, which I will not call a king, has vexed our marches long enough. You have my leave, my lord, and more than that, you have my sword. Whilst the Lord of Storm's End would lead 500 men into the mountains of the Dornish marches, Jaehaerys Targaryen took to the air on his dragon Vermithor. This was not the first Vulture King to trouble the lords of Westeros, nor was it to be the last, but this second was no more than an up-jumped raider, the minor son of a minor house with a few hundred followers who shared his taste for robbery and pillaging. He knew the mountains well, and when pursued, he would disappear, to reappear at will. None of his tricks availed him against a foe who could hunt him from above, however. Legend claimed the Vulture King had an impregnable mountain castle hidden in the clouds, but King Jaehaerys found no secret lair, only a dozen small camps scattered here and there across the Red Mountains. One by one, Vermithor flamed them all, leaving the Vulture only ashes to return to. Lord Rogar's slow-moving column winded their way into the heights, but were soon forced to abandon their horses and proceed on foot along goat tracks and steep slopes and through dark caves, whilst hidden foes rolled stones down about their heads. Yet still they marched on, undaunted. As the Stormlanders proceeded from the east, Simon Dondarrion, the Lord of Blackhaven, led a small host of marcher knights into the mountains from the west, to seal off any escape from that side, whilst the hunters crept towards one another. Jaehaerys watched them from the sky, moving them about as he had once moved toy armies in the chamber of the painted tables as a boy. In the end, they found their foe. Borys Baratheon did not know the mountain's hidden ways as the Dornish did, so he was the first to be cornered. Lord Rogar's men made short work of his own, but as brothers came face to face, King Jaehaerys descended from the sky. I would not have you named as a kinslayer, my lord, his grace told his former hand. The traitor is mine. Sir Borys laughed to hear it. So you would rather name me a kingslayer than him a kinslayer, he he shouted, as he rushed the king. Jaehaerys, ever calm, had black fire in hand, and he had not forgotten the lessons he had learned in the yard on Dragonstone as a young boy. Borys Baratheon died at the king's feet from a cut to his neck that took his head near clean off. The Vulture King's turn came next. Brought to bay in the burned lair where he had hoped to find refuge, he resisted to the end, showering the king's men with spears and arrows. "This one is mine," Rogar Baratheon told his grace. When the Mountain King was led before them in fetters, at his command the outlaw's chains were struck off, and was given a spear and shield. Lord Rogar faced him with his axe. "If he kills me, promise me you'll let him go free." The Vulture proved sadly unequal to that task. Wasted and weak and wrecked with pain as he was, Rogar Baratheon turned the Dornishman's attacks aside contemptuously, then clove him from shoulder to navel. When it was done, Lord Rogar seemed wary. "It seems I will not die with an axe in hand after all," he told the king sadly. Nor did he. Rogar Baratheon, the Lord of Storm's End, and one time handed the king and Lord Protector of the Realm, died half a year later at Storm's End, in the presence of his maesters, his septons, his brother and son and heir, Bormund. Lord Rogar's war would become known in the pages of history as the Third Dornish War. It had lasted less than half a year, begun and won entirely in 61 AC, with the Vulture King eliminated. Raiding fell off sharply along Dornish marches for a time, as accounts of the campaign spread through the Seven Kingdoms. Even the most martial of lords gained a new respect for their young king. Any lingering doubts had been dispelled. Jaehaerys Targaryen was worthy of Aegon the Conqueror's throne, and was not weak like his father, King Aenys.